Well, hello, Las Vegas. It's Monique Buchanan and Rebecca Coins here to present yet another episode of Welcome Home with Monique. I tried something new. What do you think?
I like it.
Okay, cool. I'm going to try to roll with it. So good morning, Las Vegas. We appreciate you tuning in. It's me and Becky, your local and nationwide realtors. Yes, we can help you in all 50 states. We try to remind everybody about that. A lot of people are moving, changing zip codes, I should say. Yeah. And we've been getting quite a few calls about investors wanting to purchase in different states. And that's like a hot thing right now. A lot of investors are taking advantage of this market as it, in most states, is a buyer's market.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
In most. I say that because I'm from Seattle and I cannot say that exactly in Seattle. I mean, it's not as strong, I would say.
There's pockets. There's pockets everywhere. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. So I can't speak for all 50 states, obviously, but I will tell you what, here in Las Vegas, honey, it's a buyer's market. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely agree with that.
And why would you agree with that?
Just on all the deals that we've been doing. I mean, I have to say, I thank you, Mo. Thank you to all of our clients and listeners, but we've been very, very blessed because I know not everybody has been as busy as we are.
Yes, well, God provides, honey. I give credit to the Lord on that.
I'm with you there. But
He says even in a famine, He will provide.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I'm grateful.
But we've been very busy.
Yes.
And every single one of our clients, everywhere we go, we're knocking it out.
Yeah. And the way we're knocking it out and the way that we know that it definitely is a buyer's market here in the Valley, especially, heck, I would say even in the millions, even our $2.6 million property is still going to give up some closing costs and still going to possibly give you, some money off the price. You know what I mean? Because they're not moving.
Yeah.
They're not moving.
No.
Right? All the uncertainty that's going on, it's just, hey, a lot of stuff is playing a part in that. And now with the government shutdown,
and it all depends on the property, obviously, and the seller's motivation. Some sellers are testing the waters, but if they need to sell because they have their own personal reasons to sell, that's kind of what they're dealing with right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, we keep it 100 on the show, you guys. We talk to you guys, like I say, like our play cousins. You guys are like our play cousins out there. So I'm never going to tell you something that I wouldn't do right now myself. So what have I been saying for the last 2 months? I've been saying, hey, if you don't have to sell your property, what have I said, Beck?
Don't sell.
Now's
not the time. Just hang tight.
Hang tight. If you can. If you cannot, hey, we'll knock it out the park for you. We'll list that property. And then luckily, we do know the ins and outs of these programs to maybe walk a newer agent that has a buyer for your property, walk them through how they can structure that offer to where it doesn't hurt our sellers in the pocket as much. You know what I mean? So, but when we're representing those buyers, it's the opposite. We have been getting all kinds of closing costs, you guys. I mean, we're getting the sellers to pay so much. They're doing just as much as a brand new home build, They're buying down the rates for our buyers. They are giving closing costs, having our buyers pay nothing out of pocket in closing costs.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, if you're looking at a property, a home that's maybe $330,000, well, that's such a low price point that there's going to be an influx of buyers that are with you. And so therefore, that price point is going to have a little more action and more people lined up to buy that property than, let's say, $550 house. You know what I mean? So with that being said, obviously, I'm going to be able to score a little bit more in most cases with the $550 home, the $400,000 home versus a $300,000 home, because that seller knows, hey, I have a property that is, affordable monthly right now for many people.
So it's sought after. It is sought after for people who are just trying to get in
the market,
and they're not as financially.
Because at that price point, you have investors and you have first-time home buyers that are trying to get that property. So if you have a savvy realtor like me and Becky, then we're going to advise you.
Yes.
Let's hold off and let's see, what else we can get on that table before we accept an offer, right?
Absolutely.
If you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan and Rebecca Coins, and this is the Welcome Home with Monique show. We have been in real estate for quite some time here in the Las Vegas Valley, and we just started this show, and we like to enlighten our community about, what's going on in the real estate market, but also within our community, Yeah. We talk about everything on this show, don't we?
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. So I wanted you to do something today, Becky.
What do you want me to do?
I would like for you to be vulnerable.
Okay.
and honest, of course, which you always are, but
Always.
extremely honest.
Sometimes a little too much.
Yeah, that's all right. I appreciate that honesty. I appreciate that. And just tell our listeners your horrible experience with buying your first house. Because there's a lot of people out there that have some reservations, and we keep it 100 here. Yes. How was just start off out the gate, how was your experience? What made you want to buy a house? Just tell us all the goods.
So I've, on the show, I've kind of
touched on it
here and there. But yeah, so here's the nuts and bolts of what went down.
What happened?
We, my now husband and I, we were just dating, and we had rented one property from a friend.
Love you, Chris Coins.
And we got a little phone call that said, hey, we're letting the house go. You guys are going to have to find somewhere to go.
You're renting from a friend.
Renting from a friend.
How long were you renting that property?
Ooh, we'd been there for, I think, 2 years.
Okay, couple years.
Been a
friend
minute.
Owns it. You feel safe.
Yep.
You pay your rent on time?
Yep.
Were you a good tenant?
Oh, yeah, on time. Okay. Never late. Never late.
Asking.
And then, at least he was kind enough to let us know. Mm-hmm. Like he did, kind of call and was like, hey, we're going to let the house go.
How much notice did you get?
He did give us some notice.
Like maybe 60 days?
Something like that, yeah, okay. I want to say. He gave us a little bit of notice. So we weren't like totally.
Couple months. Okay.
And then we went to another friend, customer from back in the day who was a property manager and was like, hey, like we don't, this is what's going on. We don't want any issues, but, we're looking for another rental. So got into another rental. And I've already seen this play before. I start seeing some people coming by, taking pictures of the house. I'm like, what's going on?
Wait, after you rented it?
Yeah, we'd been there for over a year.
Okay.
And then I start seeing some stuff going down, and I'm like,
random
what?
People just popping by?
Yeah, and I was like, what's happening? And we went out there and confronted somebody, and they were from the bank, but they couldn't give us any information. Oh. So we called the property manager and are like, hey, because we asked ahead of time, are we going to have any issues if we rent? Because a lot of people were dealing with what we were dealing with back then.
Mm-hmm. What year was this around?
Oh, this was 2008.
Oh, so right when the
8, 9, I want to say,
when the crash happened.
Yeah, all during that. People, we got cash for keys the first go round.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of that whole thing. So a lot of people were letting houses go. People were getting notices on the door. So I said,
super unstable.
Yeah. And when we asked this property manager, he's like, oh no, the guy who owns this house is a doctor. He lives in California. Solid. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Right.
We were like, okay. But then this happened.
Okay.
So we called and we were like, okay. And I looked at Chris and I was like, we got to buy. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we can. We had, we had some of our own credit issues. We had patted our credit back up at that point, and I was like, let's go see.
We need to at least look into it and see if we can buy.
Let's just try.
Old. Yeah.
Because I have 3 kids.
The uncertainty of renting.
Yeah.
You don't know when you could be told that you have to leave.
Yeah.
And you had kids.
And they were lying. They lied when we asked about what was going on. Oh, no, he's just doing this and doing that. And I'm like, I know this play. Like, I know this rodeo. No. Right. So I was like, we need to be proactive here because I don't want to get a notice on the door. I got 3 kids. I'm not trying to be scrambling.
Up, moving, yeah, with the kids.
So that was it.
So you decided to try to buy.
Yep. And we went in, and I went with friends because I didn't know any better.
Right.
And mortgage-wise, I would say for the most part, everything was pretty good there. We went in, got our pre-approval, everything was good, went to shop, and then went to a friend.
So when she says mortgage-wise, she means the lender that she went to, although he was a friend, he was very good.
Yeah.
He was seasoned.
Yeah.
Had been in the business forever, and he knew his stuff.
Yes.
Just so you know, mortgage lenders and realtors, we are completely different. We don't work in the same office. We're not, that's not how it works. Yeah. They work over in their office, and then we're completely separate, and we work in our office. Because I think sometimes people think we all work together.
Yeah.
And we don't.
No.
Not at all.
No.
I mean, like Anthony, for instance, he is on my team, but he's not physically in my office.
No.
Like he runs his own whole mortgage team, which is completely separate from a realtor. As realtors, we negotiate for you. We find the property with you. Now I say with you because there's so many tools out there to find properties.
Yeah.
A lot of times our clients are sending us properties. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So just being completely, transparent. So we're there to make sure everybody else is doing their job. Yes. We're there to make sure behind the scenes, you don't realize the conversations we're having, the emails back and forth for 30 days straight that we're doing, checking in, making sure everything's right, the inspector, the title company, the lender. We're staying on top of everybody after we get you that house. So that's our job as a lender. they get the money, honey.
Yeah.
They pay for it. So anyway, so the mortgage lender was pretty good. And then
he gave us our education, gave us our pre-approval, told us to start with that. We were good.
And you used the same realtor I used. Yeah. No names will be discussed.
No.
But the friend realtor that we both had, you used him.
Yes. And when I got my keys, I was crying. I had buyer's remorse.
Well, back
for a half a minute. Only for half a minute. But yes.
Tell us about your experience. What happened?
He'd been in the industry for quite some time. He kind of made me feel like our small piddly deal was a little bit beneath him necessarily. Like he was doing us a favor.
Right.
He definitely made me feel like I was doing him the huge favor of giving him my business. On the other end now, no.
Especially now that you're a realtor, you see like,
no.
But I feel like sometimes God lets us go through things like that because now you have empathy for that.
Oh, yes.
You're like on high alert to make sure that we do not treat our clients. I don't care if they're buying a $200,000 condo or if they're buying a $2.6 million home. They are still the most important person in the room.
Yes.
And you just want to be very careful of how to treat folks,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when your heart's in it to help people, it doesn't matter about the money. The money comes and it goes. The money comes and it goes. It's fluid.
It's not even, it's not.
So he treated you kind of like, well, you guys are only buying like $150,000. So.
Yep. That was kind of pretty much it. And back then, I felt like $150,000 was an insane amount of money. I'd never spent that much money on anything. Yeah, it was a big deal.
Then.
And so to me, walking through the process, I didn't understand any of it. And so, and back then, that's when people were destroying homes.
Yeah.
We'd walk into a house and it would just be completely, everything gutted out of it. And
thank God those days are not coming back.
Yes, thank goodness.
Please don't. Because now, just so you know, the crash happened and you have a lot of people out there waiting for the so-called crash, right? But here's the thing, guys. Those same people have been waiting for 5 years. And while they're waited, our price points have went up so much that they can't even afford to buy if they wanted to now because they were listening to the hype about this so-called crash that was coming. But here's the thing. You have to understand the history of the crash. It was through predatory lending.
Yep.
They have cracked down so hard on that. As realtors, we're not even allowed to know who the appraiser is.
Yeah.
It's randomly selected by the lender, and he doesn't even know who it's going to be. Like they have really put a lot of guardrails in place.
Yeah, a lot
they don't
of it.
mess around.
No.
And now, back then, if you had a pulse, you got approved.
Yes. You just put whatever you said you made,
just said,
and they went, okay.
Yeah, okay, we believe you. And there's no documentation to back it up. And it was just so shady, just to be honest with you. But my father, for instance, he worked at the Luxor. Shouts out to everybody over there. My daddy was #1 seniority. He was in room service, but here's the thing. He was still a W-2 employee. I think my dad probably made like $40,000 a year back then. And do you know that he had 2 homes at $500,000 each? So $1 million worth of property. You riddle me that.
Right.
How in the world did you give that man $1 million? Because they just went in there and, he was listening to my cousin at the time.
Yeah.
My cousin had something up his sleeve.
Tell him this is how much you make.
Yeah. And he kind of ran the show because he knew my dad had never bought a house before. Aww. And so, but anyways, that's the point is that back then unfortunately, my dad had to go bankrupt over $1 million.
That's just insane.
Yeah. So anyways, that crash happened from predatory lending mainly back then. So that's over with, done.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you guys kind of went through that. Why do you say that you cried when you got the keys?
So there were short sales going on back then, and there are some now starting to kind of pop back up now. Not as much. Yeah, but there are some things that go down. And the house that we ended up buying was a short sale. It was occupied when we got there. But he kind of I would want to look at a property. He wouldn't explain things to me. I over-explain. I'm a talker. You know that. You have to shut me up all the time.
Girl, we both are.
Right? Like I over-explain to my clients when they have questions because I just never want to be in the dark about things myself, and I wouldn't want them to be that way.
It's the biggest purchase of your life.
It is.
It's the most, so it's very nerve-wracking. It can be very stressful. Like my niece today, she's pregnant in Seattle, and she's buying for the first time. She's super excited, but she's stressed already with her pregnancy. And then she's like, Auntie, oh my goodness, and I get that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you have to make sure to explain everything and, always be open to questions, answer your phone.
Yes.
So So when you say he didn't explain anything, give me some examples. And if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan and Rebecca Coins, and this is the Welcome Home with Monique show. You can check out my website at welcomehomewithmonique.com. You can reach us at 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. If you are thinking of purchasing a property for investment, first-time home buyers, whatever, ninth time home buyer, like my client's coming from Hawaii.
Right.
She's so cute. She goes, honey, I bought 9 homes. I said, well, hello.
You're a pro.
Right. So no matter what your real estate needs are, we've got you covered. And not just here in Las Vegas, Nevada, but in all 50 states. 702-984-3700. So when you say he kind of left you in the dark.
I had no idea how any of this worked. He never told me. We had planned a trip to Hawaii. We were on an airplane and we had seen this property, and we had seen so many properties. They were starting to
all run together,
starting to see sideways. And I knew we were going to have to do some work to the house. That was fine. But like I said, the family was living in it when we saw it. So, you know, he just kind of like pushed us as far as, you know, you got to make an offer right now. And I was just like.
So you felt rushed.
Oh, big time. We were on a plane and I was like, okay, pull the trigger. And I'm trying to remember the house and remember what we saw. And so, you know, it all worked out in our favor in the end, but I had no clue how any of it worked. Mm-hmm. He just kind of, okay, this is happening. And then that was it. It was like he didn't explain what it meant, what an appraisal is. He didn't explain our due diligence.
Oh, wow.
I didn't understand any of it. I didn't know I could back out.
Oh, well, let me tell them that now. Honey.
Yeah.
If you are dealing with any realtor, just know when you submit an offer, your realtor definitely is going to put at least they should, and you need to check it and make sure, but 7 to 10 days is the average, and that is back out for any reason under the sun. You can back out of the deal if you need to. So I like to say, if you have a collard green dream, you can back out of that deal and let your agent know, hey, I've decided that I'm not going to move forward with this property. Yeah. And you should be able to get your earnest money back. And the reason I say should is because per the contract, you are owed your earnest money back, but the title companies do require 2 signatures. That's the seller and the buyer on everything. Yeah. So if you get an unfortunate seller that is, you know, just not being very nice for whatever reason, and they decide not to sell or sign the release of your funds, it can be held up in title, which there's millions of dollars. But this is very rare. I think I've had this in my decade of doing this. I think I've maybe had it 2 or 3 times in 10 years. Yeah. A seller's done that. But then my clients just take them to small claims court and get their money. But still, sorry. See how we explain?
Exactly.
We over-explain.
All the time. Because we want you to know.
Yeah, I want you to know. Even if you don't deal with us, me or Becky, I do want you to be in the know of what your rights are. So anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, the whole process, you know, I didn't understand what was happening with the inspection. We just, you know, the inspection happened. He just kind of like, I just felt like we were railroaded over every time I turned around. I think I've mentioned this on the show maybe before, but we're part of an HOA. When we drove in the HOA, everybody's got cars on the street. There's kids playing. One of the reasons I chose that property. And we were working on our house. And then afterwards, my car got towed. And I had no idea because those CC&Rs.
He didn't tell you to look at the CC. Okay, so when you buy a house, guys, you get the HOA rules. We call it the resale package. That comes to you, should be within the first 2 weeks. So you're going to get that. It's going to go over all the rules for that particular community so that you can look and see if there's anything in there. Like, oh, you can't park overnight in the street, which is a big deal breaker for me personally.
Yeah.
So if you see that, you can say, you know what? No, I've got 5 days to back out of this after I've reviewed. So I'm going to back out because I know that I need to park. I've got kids that live with me, my kids, right? So you got towed.
Yes, I got towed.
Let's talk about this. It sounds like you had a horrible experience, and I'm so sorry.
I did.
And I'm sure that there's listeners out there that are shaking their head like, yeah, me too, right? And unfortunately, that does happen with anything, right? But let's talk about how you feel now about your $150,000 property.
135.
135. Oh, my goodness. And she lives in Mountain's Edge.
Yes. I live right outside Mountain's Edge.
How has this property changed your life?
Like I said, everything happens for a reason. It all worked out in my favor. We redid the stuff inside the house. You know, our house is worth worth almost $500,000. I can't complain. My interest rate is, you know, lower.
Yes. And you pulled money out when you needed it.
I did. I did do a refi, a HELOC at one point.
Do you mind if I ask, what did you pull the money out? What did you use it for?
I paid off like credit card debts. I have I have my 3 kids. So, kids needed things, cars, different stuff.
And because you owned a home, you were able to take the money out of that house.
Yep.
Buy your husband that brand new truck, which you just bought him.
Yes, I did.
You were able to help your children out. And that's all because of that ugly house you bought.
I'll tell you what, that HELOC, I took some of that HELOC money for peace of mind during COVID.
Oh, that was good.
Just so I had money because I didn't know what was going to happen with all the layoffs.
That makes complete sense. Yeah, because at the time you were working at Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
That was so smart. Yeah.
That peace of mind just made me feel good.
And then the points that you made for one of our clients, you told her because she's worried about the shutdown, and you let her know as well, you have so much more flexibility as an owner versus a renter.
Day one.
As a renter, you will be put out if you don't pay that rent. You've got only so long.
Yeah.
But even like my sister in Seattle, she says, Mo, her husband got laid off. She says, Mo, I'm so glad that I bought. I said, what's going on? Where'd that just come from? She goes, well, because we called them, like you said, Monique, because I told her, call your mortgage, tell them you're having a hardship. And they lowered her mortgage from $4,500 a month to $500
Look
a
at that.
month.
Yeah. They're not in the business.
They're not in the. They don't want your house. They do not want your house. You guys.
They don't. They want to be paid.
As long as you can prove that you're having hardship, majority of the time they're going to work with you.
Yeah.
Now you try to do that same thing with the landlord. Yeah. I know my rent's $3,500, but I'm just going to give you $500 for it.
Yeah. Good luck with that. And the late fees that pile up daily.
Yeah.
And all of it.
And then the embarrassment of having an eviction on your door.
Yeah.
On your credit. And that doesn't go away.
I can tell you during COVID, there's a lot of people that took forbearances because they didn't know what was going to happen. That doesn't go on your credit. You don't show that you made late payments. They tacked it on to the end of their loans when it was done. Certain things give you, it gives you a lot. To me, a lot of peace of mind. And that client that I had to talk, I'm still having to talk her off the ledge. We're almost done. We're in the home stretch for her.
Sometimes you got to hold their hand. Sometimes it's very nerve-wracking, especially when they're by themselves, So, but here's the good news. She's a veteran and she's about to own her first home.
Yes, she is.
And she's going to sound like you in a couple years. I'm so thankful I bought that ugly house because now that ugly house is worth $500,000. That ugly house has gotten my husband a truck. That ugly house has blessed my children, gave me peace of mind during a pandemic.
Yep.
Because if I was a renter, oh my goodness, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. I mean, imagine that. Like the way that our city and everything happened with the pandemic is very, very rare where they didn't let landlords kick people out right away. But government shutdowns, all this other stuff, they don't do that.
No, they don't put anything.
That was a one-time thing. Now
if you're a homeowner, you do get some protection.
Yes, you do.
If you're a homeowner, there are government programs that are put in place to protect you, but not the renters.
Absolutely.
And here's another thing, renters, if you're listening, we got to wrap this up. But
yes, we do.
If you have, unfortunately, had an eviction, it's so hard to rent with an eviction. So don't look to rent. You need to go ahead and think about buying. And then you don't have to worry about that eviction. 702-984-3700. 702-984-3700. Listen, you guys, I appreciate you. I'm on my way out the door. I will be heading over to Europe. I'm going to Albania.
Enjoy.
I'm excited.
I'm jealous.
Go see my baby. She moved there about 3 months ago. She loves it. I'm also going to be looking at properties over there. They've got, so my daughter lives in a high-rise downtown Albania, and she says she pays $700 a month. When they go to a nice steak dinner, her and her fiance, I think it's like $20-something.
Could you imagine?
Crazy. Well, I'm not going to imagine.
You're about to realize it.
If God says the same, honey, I'll be there this Saturday. So when you guys hear the show, I'll be there if God says the same. So just know that I am also making these moves. I'm going to Italy to Rome when we get over there. So I'm going to be talking to realtors over there, getting some information, bringing it back. I'm going to look at a 2-bedroom condo, downtown Albania, going for like $85,000 all day long. All day long. They have them by the beach. So I'm going to go grab some information for Europe because I know there's plenty of listeners out there that are thinking about making that transition. So we always tell you guys, we are in all 50 states. That's a slam dunk. We can help you all day long. And we've helped many of our KUNV listeners move or buy investments elsewhere. But now I'm extending this even further. I'm going to be taking my trips over to Europe. My daughter lives there. So I have a point of contact if you're thinking of Albania because they're very friendly with U.S. So you can live there with, no paperwork for a whole year. And then like what they plan on doing is staying the whole year. And then you got to move away for 3 months. So they're going to go to Portugal. So this is something that a lot of people are doing right now. So I'm trying to get this information for everybody. So I'm going to be going to Italy. I'm going to go to Albania. Next trip, I'm probably going to do Greece. Albania, and maybe like back to Ireland.
Yeah, when I'm tagging along.
You can come on, honey. Come on. You know, you're always able to come. So, yeah, but you guys, we love you. We're trying to, get all the information we can for you. And we pray that you stay safe out there. We're praying for each and every one of you. And just so a little heads up, Becky, I'm going to starting the shows off with what back in the day when you went to church, they did something called testimonies. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that?
I do.
You remember you stood up in church and you would tell your testimony. So I have in fact, let me do it right now. And I'm going to starting the show off with my testimony. We got to start, give God praising. So I'm grateful and thankful, you guys, because at the investment property, I call myself going over there painting. And don't you guys laugh, but I stood up and banged my head so hard, I thought I was going to pass out. I was so scared. And I went to the hospital. And let me tell you, I was making goodbye videos to my kids on the stairs while I waited for my husband to come get me. But I'm just thanking God. So that's my testimony. The Lord brought me through. I survived. I'm still with you guys. And they did a CAT scan. So because I have to fly for 11 hours and they said I was fine. So that's my testimony for the week. Do you have a testimony?
Oh,
anything good happened to you this week?
Well, I'm getting ready to go visit my son because he just bought that house
Praise
we talked
God.
about.
That's a
so
testimony.
I get to go see it in
Yes,
person. I'm
yes.
very excited.
Your
very
middle
excited.
baby bought a beautiful home.
Yes.
It's at Spokane, Washington, right? So so she's on out the door too. So this weekend she'll be up there. But we love you guys. And if you have a testimony you'd like to share on the show, I'm going to start this. I'm going to start this.
Right.
Welcome Home with Monique.com is my website, but what is my my email? You guys forgive me. I have not had my coffee. It is Welcome Home Show 91.5 at Gmail. That's my email. You guys can, contact me for real estate stuff on there, but as well as if you have a testimony with me, and I will share it on the radio show. But going forward, I want to start sharing a testimony, giving God all the honor and all the praise. Welcome Home Show 91.5 at Gmail. I'm praying for all of you guys out there, and we appreciate every referral and all the love you show us. Y'all have a great, great weekend. Bye.
Have a safe trip. Bye.
You too, Becky. Bye, guys.